yeah, as you said, it'll be a game. It'll make it a game.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's move on, shall we?
Indeed,
Um,
let us do that.
Next is our fan art watch. Every week we like to, or the community section, every week we like to focus on what the community has been doing. And one of the things is um, fan art. And this week we have a couple new pieces. Um, there's this first one from Dylan Barba. He says, was designing a gate for an overgrowth level I want to make. And here it is. Some cool kind of hexagonal red blocks with the gate, very large in scale. So it seems like it's the entrance to an epic city or something.
Yeah, this image is awesome in many many ways. Very very like perfect amount of detail, not too much, not too little. You can make something really really great out of this.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, the gate could be used for so many things, and yeah, let's hope that he actually finishes and makes the gate. So
Yeah.
um, we'll see what happens. Next, we have. Actually, this is sort of something that interests me. Connor36 has been updating the wiki, and he wants to put the fan art on the wiki, which I think is an interesting idea. I don't know if many of the artists have thought about whether they want their works sort of on display. So it's kind of interesting. What do you think?
I'm not sure. It kind of feels redundant somehow, but I don't actually know what specifically he wants to do with it. But I actually think it feels like it would be kind of redundant since we already have a gallery here on the forums where people can even commentate and look at the images and stuff.
Right. That's kind of that was my first impression was, yeah, why don't you just put a link to the fan art thread? But then I was thinking, what if it's just purely a gallery and you could maybe watch it as a slideshow as opposed to, you know, we have 50 some pages, 52 pages of fan art, so for a newcomer that's a lot of information to try and get through. So it's I'm sort of torn on the topic. I do think it's a little bit redundant, but I do see how it could be useful to new players or people who don't feel like going through forums.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But as long as someone keeps it up to date, I guess. If he wants to put in the time required to basically archive all of those images into the wiki, I guess that's great.
Right.
But
Oh,
it's probably going to be quite cumbersome to keep it up to date.
right. It turns out Connor36 is in the chat right now. I'm sorry. I have two computers open and I wasn't looking at the one with chat. And he says it's not really a gallery. Um, but someone else thinks that a gallery would be kind of neat. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's an idea worth pursuing a little more. So we'll see.
Yeah, my final words on it. It certainly wouldn't hurt anyone if he did it. It would probably benefit everyone in some manner, but it would be a lot of work, probably for not so much gain.
Right. Right. So, but we are happy that someone has focused on updating the wiki, which keeping a wiki up to date, especially on a game actively being developed, is a big chore.
Yes, indeed, it's a lot of work to do. If anyone is interested in helping keeping the wiki up to date, what is it? The wiki.wolfire.com, right?
I believe that's the case. So I'm sure that Connor36 would, since he's doing it now, would be interested in at least collaborating on how that's going to happen. I'm sure he doesn't
Yep.
want to do it all himself because it is a daunting
Mm.
task.
Yeah.
So next we have a relatively newcomer to the community, Brill. He's been on IRC a bit this week. Um, he writes, "I'm not an artist. I do not draw regularly. This is my second time opening up Photoshop, and he only made this so that he can hear Silverfish's sweet Swedish vocals regarding this." So I believe, Silverfish, this is a call to you to take a look at this image and tell us what you think.
Well, you can see that he hasn't opened Photoshop a lot, and that he's not an artist, but it's pretty good, I'd say. I mean, before I had opened up Photoshop many times, I was probably a bit worse than this even. Um, but yeah, it's actually looking quite okay. He's got all the details right and stuff like that. Some of the anatomy is a bit weird, some of the proportions, I think it's called even.
Uh huh. He's also kind of, it looks like his legs are and arms are like together, but he's leaning, really far to the right. So
Yeah, his
that's,
center of gravity is a bit off,
but at least, at first glance, you can tell, one, it's a rabbit. Two, there's a building in the background that's behind him. And, that is certainly a start.
yes, and I can also tell that it's Turner because he has those ropes and the right color and the right color on the pants.
Exactly. So, um, congratulations. Keep going with the artwork. There's we all have to start somewhere. So
Yeah,
keep going, I say.
totally. I mean, there are tutorials online. There are tutorials online. Check it out, man. You can get better, better.
Definitely. So next, oops, I've already opened it. Next, we have a first post from Moore, although he is a pre-orderer. He says the game needs dinosaurs. So I drew a dinosaur, and an awesome looking dinosaur he drew.
Holy shit!
So I'm I love the colors, the level of detail on this, and I'm also amazed at how easy it is to make a dinosaur look anthropomorphic, because he didn't really have to change the way that this creature stands. It just sort of naturally, you put a spear in its hands and it's good to go.
Yeah, especially since a lot of dinosaurs actually walk around on two legs, you just basically need to give them longer arms and you're set,
Exactly.
and maybe a bit more upright. But yeah.
Yep. I love the colors of this. I don't know why. Something about it to me is very striking.
Yeah, I love everything about it. The way that the light hits from the left side, and the background is kind of non-descriptive somehow, but still awesomely cool. And yeah, just very, very well rendered, very nice design in general. And I really like his reasoning as well.
Absolutely.
Overgrowth needs dinosaurs, so I drew a dinosaur.
Yep. So I hope that we see a lot more artwork from this newcomer to the scene, because it's very cool. So
Yeah.
maybe he'll post a link to a gallery or something like that. So I think that is it for this week's fan art update.
Mhm.
So we will move on with the agenda. Next, our favorite Zeramules linear level kit update. And this is just a small update. He does talk about how he made it so that that it's possible to make it so that surfaces give you a temporary bonus. Like if you want to reach a certain place and jump higher for X amount of time after you cross a location. So this, if for those of you who don't know, this mod adds linear capabilities to a game, such as checkpoints, respawn points. I guess those are the same things. Um, like instant death. Like if you run into some spikes or something like that. It's a very cool mod, and it makes a lot of aspects of making a game possible that aren't yet available in the game.
Yeah, this is totally a must-have mod for all mappers, and I really hope that it keeps updating it from alpha to alpha, because if you didn't know, every time they release a new alpha, this mod will break and he will need to manually update it to the next alpha version.
Yep.
So I really hope he'll keep doing that so we can keep making awesome levels for the
Yes.
entire community.
Yes. We love this mod, so please keep it maintained. We'd be very happy about that.
Yes.
Next, we have Senyu's Mountain City work in progress, and he has uploaded a preview on YouTube, and we will just play the video. Let me know about the volume because it is a little bit loud to me. So I'm warning you now. Get ready on the mute buttons if you need it. But here it comes.
Seems pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Since there's no one talking, we could talk over it if you want.
Yeah.
I like that there's a lot of stairs and a lot of places to go.
Yeah, this is kind of a very, very rough level layout thing, and I have to say I like that he does that in the first place, because it's always more important to have good gameplay than it is to have a pretty looking level.
Yep.
And it's looking like a town. Even though everything are just blocks, it still looks very, very cool actually.
Yes, absolutely.
So he's kind of running up the stairs here for me right now. Something I noticed though was that the stairs don't always seem to connect. Like the first stair he ran up felt kind of awkward, the angle that he had to walk out of the stair from. But I'm sure you'll sort those things out before releasing the level.
Yeah.
And another thing I like is that the stairs don't seem very super regular. They seem kind of irregular somehow. Kind of hard to explain, but
Sort of man-made, like they weren't made by a machine or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Overall, it looks like a fun level to play around in.
Yeah, we'll see how it is to fight in it though. There are lots of cramped spaces, though when I ran through it, it didn't feel too cramped. But I guess we'll find out when he moves on with it. I guess we could try to add an enemy or so, or I guess we can't. Well, anyways.
Yeah, I don't have this level yet.
Oh yeah. I think I just realized that I saw this level in the video before and I felt like I had played it myself. Which I don't think I have.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, why didn't I add an enemy and just test it out?
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, cool looking sketch for a town in the mountains. For a mountain city, yes, definitely.
We'll see where it takes it. It looks very good so far.
Absolutely.
And, I'm sure it'll be great.
I know he was worried about posting alpha work on YouTube, but we've now highlighted your work, so hopefully you continue to
Yeah.
post. At this point, I mean, if you do post on YouTube, you can always mention that it's an alpha and does not necessarily